Hey, look at you! You found yourself at the end of the chapter. You've learned a bunch, and now it's time to cement the lessons by putting them into real-world practice. Or maybe not real world. I guess it's more of a virtual world. But it's essentially the same thing. Same ideas, same techniques. Here, we're going to record a series of cues, and I'm going to use designer language. I'll give you the keystrokes near the beginning, but then I'm going to wean you off them and allow you to interpret the designer speak into programming technique. Together, we're going to use the principles of angle and intensity to design lights for a scene in which we start in a blackout. Then we're going to move to some sort of establishing look, kind of establish the art form. We're going to travel to a standard look where the actors are lit. We're going to heighten the intensity. We're going to close with a stylized intensity hanging over us. Ooh. And then we're going to finish into a blackout. Ready? Here we go. Okay, starting with Q11, a blackout. So start by opening the follow along file, but honestly, it doesn't really matter if you're just continuing from the previous lessons or opening it from scratch. We're going to record our cues into numbers 11 through 16, so they won't overlap with anything else that we've done before, but it should be something, one of the lesson files from this chapter. I have my follow along start here, ready to go. If you're currently in a queue, take out all the channels and send us into a blackout. So 1 through 9 out. Okay. Oops, 1 through 9 out. Okay, so now we should be in black. That's our first look. Wow, great. So we're going to record this as Q11. So record R, 1, 1, enter. Wow. If you were starting from scratch rather than coming from a previous lesson, by the way, the colors on your screen might look a little bit different, and that's okay. Just make sure that everything is at 0. So all the blue might be a different color, but all the channels are at 0. Okay, next, Q12, establish the scene. Here we'll establish the figures on stage, or shapes, I guess, on stage without actually beginning the scene. Something like a backlight or a top light might serve us well here. Pretty much anything except for the front lights. That would reveal too much. So let's try taking channel 8 at full, enter. All right, I'm not sold. There's a lot of shadow, but not a lot of definition. So let's take channel 8 out. Now try taking channel 7 at full. So 8 out. Now 7 at full. Good. I wonder if that's too bright. So let's take it down to half. At 50, enter. No, that's not good. Take that out. I wonder what 9 looks. Take it at full. 9 at full. Ooh, I like that angle, but it's just a little bit too bright still. So let's take it down by 20%. So I'm going to press Shift and minus. Good. Now let's fill that in with some of the shadow by putting 7 at 40%. Great. Good. Let's record that as Q12. So record 12, enter. That gives us a hint of what we're about to do, what's about to come, but it doesn't show us everything. Okay, let's move on to Q13, a more normal look. Now that we've established our form using backlight, let's fill in the front by using channels 1, 2, and 3. Since our brightest backlight, channel 9, comes from stage left, let's make our brightest front light, often called our key light, come from stage right. These two angles will complement one another and create shadow and contrast. So we're going to take channel 1 to 65. This makes the scene look a little bit flat. So let's boost that to 75. Okay, now that's a strong key light. Good. Now let's take channel 3 to 50%. 3 at 50 to fill in some of the shadows. There's still quite a bit of shadow on the face or the cylinder, which we would see down the bridge of an actor's nose. So let's add a bit of front or face light by taking channel 2 at 20%. Okay, it's not a lot, but it's subtle, but it helps. Wonderful. Now that 2 and 3 are at their higher values, channel 1 seems to get a little bit lost, so let's take that up to full. So 1 at full. Nope, too bright. Let's take it down to 90 at 90. Yep, okay, that looks good. Let's record this as Q13. So record 13, enter, boom. Okay, Q14, something with a little bit of heightened emotion. Let's add a little bit of drama to our shapes. They're obviously fighting about something. You can clearly see that, yes? Just look at the pyramid's pointy edges. He can't get away with that. Does he think he's better than the other shapes? Urgh. Having strong light coming from the top and the side might help us give the sense of oppression while also lighting the face and the front of the characters. Since we decided to use channel 1 as our key light in the previous cue, it might make sense to make our emotional light come from the opposite direction, meaning channel 6 would be the best light to use here. So let's just go all in and take channel 6 at full. Okay, that's a little bit much, but perhaps it would be fine if we got rid of some of the other lights. So let's take channel 2 out. Okay, take channel 3 to half of what it is now. You can do math. Take channel 1 to 50. Oh, nope, that's too dark. Take channel 1 to 65. Okay, now let's take channel 3 out. Oh, that'll help us to see if it's doing anything. Not really. So let's take up to 40. Okay, good. Record that as Q14. Now hit back and forward to see if that makes a little bit of difference. So we're going to go back and forward, back and forward. Remember, I can hold down Shift. Forward, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. Yeah, I think this adds a lot of drama. Okay, Q15, the emotional hang. Now, let's tag our scenery by letting that emotional hang over the characters while the front light fades away. This is pretty easy. Let that strong, dramatic light in channel 6 hang and have a little bit of a solo. So let's take channels 1 through 3 out. So 1 through 3 out. Good. Now let's get rid of our starting backlight. So 9 out. Okay, lovely. And let's take channel 5, our top light, to 65. Ooh, there we go. This looks great, but maybe we should just go a little bit bolder. So let's take actually 5 and 7. So 5 plus 7 out. Oh, yeah, that's dramatic. If we're going to do it, let's go all out. So let's record this as Q15. Record 15, enter. Okay, Q20, a closing blackout. Well, this should be simple. Channel 6 out. Record this as Q20. Q20. Why 20? Well, what if we wanted to add more cues in the middle of the scene? Now we still have a little bit of room. Okay, the most important part. Don't forget, we've got to save what we did. And you're finished. Congratulations. That's everything. And just in case you needed it, the course downloads has a version of this file completed, allowing you to reference and check what we did here. All right, have fun. Go to the next project, course, or lesson, and I'll see you there.